This exhibition, with the probability of being seen, the Dorothee and Konrad Fischer Archives of an Attitude, focuses on a personality from the art world of the late 60s, 70s, Konrad Fischer. Konrad Fischer was a very influential gallery owner, but before becoming a gallery owner, he was working as an artist who had studied with Sigmar Polke and Gerhard Richter. Then all of a sudden, in the mid-70s, he decided to open up a gallery, and he is the one who brought very important American artists to Europe, like Carl André. He did the first exhibition with Bruce Nauman in Europe, Solowit, and Dan Flavin, and many others. Mostly those artists whom we say are conceptual artists came to his gallery and were exhibited by Konrad Fischer. This exhibition has three major parts: Konrad Luke Fischer, the artist, Konrad Fischer, the curator, and Konrad and Dorothee Fischer's archive. This archive documents how the art world in the 70s was spread out all over Europe in museum collections and private collections. And the most important issue from my point of view is that Konrad Fischer was one of those persons whose activities as a curator, as a gallery owner, did a kind of internationalization of the art world, something where today there's no point of return possible to go back to any kind of local or provincial idea of art. I think this is one of the main issues why I wanted to bring this show together, to show this idea how in those days, how the activities were spread over, how the energy of many artists who had kind of the same idea about art and life as an attitude came together and made this important change in the art world. The so-called conceptual minimalist artists of those days, I think, was the last very major avant-garde that still influences the exhibition business, the museum and gallery exhibitions until today. So we can say that the last 40 years, those artists started very young at Düsseldorf, Amsterdam, Antwerp, supported by those galleries like Art and Project, Konrad Fischer, White Space, where still until today is a generation of artists that is the most influential for the art world. And yeah, finally, in this huge hall, we see the collection of Dorothee and Konrad Fischer, which I prefer to name and coin as an archive, because many works, of course, were sold from the gallery and ended up in today very famous collections like Tate Modern, like the Stedelijk Museum Amsterdam, like the Palais de Beaux-Arts in Brussels, and many, many private collectors who are very important these days. So it is not that Dorothee and Konrad Fischer had really collected the art they were exhibiting, but of course there were a lot of works they wanted to live with this, so it really comes from their collection, and most of the works are shown for the very first time, and they give a very close inside view how friendly, how familiar Dorothee and Konrad Fischer were working with artists of their generation.